Hey! It's that arsehole who scattered our sheep. Just you wait.
Oh, come on. It was just an innocent little joke. I'm sorry.
Shut it! I don't care about your excuses. You made a fool of my boy. I won't forget that. I'm going to hit you so hard, you'll be picking up teeth from the ground all the way to Trotsky.
Wait, I've got a better idea. Olbram of Zhelejov sent me to scatter your sheep. What if I pulled something on him in return? Then we'd be even, right?
Well, all right. But you'd better make a hell of an effort. Now listen up.
So what should I do to the Zhelejovites?
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zhelejov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is, the finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective too. Now you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Prochek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
All right then. Olbram's bull will be getting a new coat of paint.
Olbram's going to lose his mind. I can't wait. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zhelejov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Tachov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zhelejovites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way round, and that pasture belonged to Zhelejov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelejovites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Olbram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelejovites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way round, and that pasture belonged to Zhelejov.
Well, that's a tough nut to crack. Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Olbram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory. It was good to see you, my friend.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you.
On a dress. We're going to the fair. In case you're wondering, I won!
Playing dice again.
Duck. Lady Luck was mine.
Was wrong. Sleep it off, and you can hand over your winning stuff.
But then...
Sure we are. Good day to you.
I've heard you dye your own fabric.
I used to. I tried a few times, but I had to give it up. Trotskovitz is on a hill, and there's not enough water for that. Why'd you ask?
I'd like to buy some pigment.
I see. Or perhaps I could find some leftover black. If you have enough groschen, it's yours.
Ah, damn. That's more money than I thought. Look, I don't need much. Just a bit will do.
Is that so? What do you want it for, anyway?
I want to paint on Olbram of Zhelejov's bull. Just a little should be enough.
Someone from Tachov put you up to this, am I right? You should have said that right away. I won't spoil your fun. You know what? If I scraped off some of that dry pigment from the edges of the bucket and mixed it with some lard, that could work. Those pigments are a magical thing, eh?
What do you mean?
For example, if you need blue, you can use blueberries or woad leaves. You put them in hot water with the fabric and it'll turn blue. Walnuts good too. With the husks of unripe walnuts, you can get a very nice light brown, sometimes even yellow. The best way to make red is from madder root. And when you add alum or beeswing to the water, the colour gets a beautifully rich shade. Or you could just use plain old black elder. The berries, of course, but they're more for lighter shades. Oh, and privet's not too bad either. If you use its bark and alum, you get yellow. You can even use the leaves. They make a nice green, but it takes forever. But you know what's my favourite way of making yellow? Using dyer's broom or weld. You take a few nice stems, some leaves, a bit of alum, and you get yellow, as bright as a chick's feathers. And for so much cheaper than using saffron or iris, that's the main thing. Buckthorn makes a nice green, maybe the best of all. You use its fruit. They say it can also heal, but I've never tried that. The most important part is the stain anyway. Like alum, for example. It can create all sorts of shades and give depth and richness to the colour. But even that won't help you if you don't know what to use for what colour. Sometimes you want the fruit, sometimes the bark, sometimes the root, or maybe the leaves. Too bad I don't dye fabric much anymore. But I see you're really into it. You know what? Take some of it for free.
My word. Thank you so much.
Oh, not worth mentioning. Just be careful not to stain yourself. Quality material like this doesn't wash off easily.
Everything's over now, is it? God bless you. Olbram lets his bull drink wine. That's nonsense, isn't it? I don't know. He treats that animal like a lord, except he has a secret one.
Hey, clear off, you mutt! Leave it! Shoo!
What's that you're doing? Surely you don't want to break in, you, such a good soul.
I was just looking at that bull you've got there. I don't think I've ever seen such a beautiful animal.
Aye, our bull. Olbram's, that is the finest animal far and wide. Olbram's really protective of it.
What do you mean?
For example, we have to watch it all night. Do you know how many times I've stepped in shit in the dark because of this? It was good to see you, my friend. I hope you're not going to be wandering around out there all night. What's that you're doing? Surely you don't want to break in, you, such a good soul. Can I help you?
All right. What am I going to do with you? Aye. This'll be good.
Get out! Leave it! Shoo! Get out! Leave it! Shoo! What's that you're doing? Surely you don't want to break in. You such a good soul.
It's done. Olbram's bull isn't as white as it used to be.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, mate. Olbram must be having a fit. I can almost see it.
To hell with the fucking pricks. The lousy sedative.
All right, then. You did what I asked, so we're even. And since you already got caught up in our little dispute, maybe you can help me with something else.
So, what can I help the Tachovites with this time?
We're planning to meet with the Zhelievites in the pasture that they keep arguing with us about. We'll sort it all out with them there. Nicely. Man to man. Wouldn't you like to join us?
To tell the truth, painting that bull was enough for me. I'd rather take a break from the Zhelievites.
I don't blame you. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.